Hey everyone, I am Nate and welcome back to Hype Up. It's now time for another top 10 list. In today's video, we're going to be having a look at the top 10 video game series that made the most money of all time. In at number 10 is Warcraft. Warcraft, since release, has made $10.391 billion. This Blizzard-owned franchise is a combination of Warcraft Orcs and Humans, Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3, World of Warcraft, and Hearthstone, with the best-selling title being World of Warcraft. Since the initial release in 1994, the games listed have had a number of expansions added, as well as a card game, novels, comics, manga, and a movie around the entire franchise. In at number 9 is Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy has made approximately $10.656 billion. The fantasy and science mixed RPG started off in 1987 in Japan and 1990 in North America on the Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES. With 15 titles, a handful of spin-offs, and 7 movies, this gaming franchise is known for its beautiful cinematics and as one of the titles that popularized the RPG genre outside of Japan. In at number 8 is Crossfire. Crossfire has made approximately $10.8 billion. Crossfire is a tactical FPS that started public testing in 2008 and was incredibly successful throughout Asia, with a large number of players in China and Korea. The game is so popular that it currently has 660 million registered players. Last year, the game made $1.5 billion, making it one of the top 5 grossing games for the year, along with Fortnite, League of Legends, and Pokemon Go. Also, it's free to play. In at lucky number 7 is, of course, Street Fighter. Street Fighter, since released, has made $11.279 billion. Street Fighter was originally released in 1987, but it is the 1991 version, Street Fighter 2, that is credited for booming success of the fighting game genre. Since then, the game and characters have made appearances in live action, anime, comics, and other spin-off titles. In at number 6 is Dungeon Fighter Online. Dungeon Fighter Online has made approximately $11.8 billion since its release. The game was originally designed to be only something small, but after the game clocked 15,000 users in its first open beta, Nexon decided that it might be worth some more investment. After the original release in Korea in 2004, the game was released in America in 2009, and by 2012, the game had 600 million users worldwide and had made $2 billion. It's only gone up from there. In at the halfway mark at number 5 is Space Invaders. Space Invaders, since its release in the late 70s, has made $13.93 billion. The first version of the game saw you shooting people instead of aliens, but this was changed before the game's release in Japan in 1978 because they didn't want to promote that sort of behavior. In 1980, it was then released in America, and 2 years later, in 1982, it had already grossed $3.8 billion. There are currently 9 versions of the game title, with the latest one being released in 2008. In at 4th place is PacMan. PacMan, since released in the 80s, has made approximately $14.098 billion. PacMan was originally released on May 22, 1980 in Japan and then in America 5 months later. This character, whose design was inspired by pizza, quickly became an icon for the 80s. This game appears to be relatively easy, but it took around 19 years for it to actually be perfected. The game became so popular that there were actually laws put forth in America to restrict places that could have Pac-Man arcade machines or people playing of a certain age. In at 3rd place is Call of Duty. Since Call of Duty was originally released, it has made approximately $17 billion. The original Call of Duty game came out on October 29, 2003 on PC, and eventually made its way to consoles, with the games being set early on in World War II. Throughout the game's lifespan, it has jumped through time with its 15 titles, but also with its line of action figures, a comic book miniseries, a Mega Block set, and a card game. In at second place is Mario. Since its original release, Mario has made approximately $29.623 billion. Originally known as Jumpman, Mario made his first appearance in 1981 in the Donkey Kong arcade game. His name was eventually changed to Mario the following year in the release of the sequel, Donkey Kong Jr., and was given his own arcade game called Mario Bros. In 1983. TV appearances in 1983, the Nintendo Entertainment System in 85, Super Nintendo Entertainment System in 91, and then Super Mario Bros. 64 on the Nintendo 64, Mario is a staple of Nintendo, loved by many and will continue to be. Before we reveal number 1, what do you think of the list so far? Have you heard of all of these games, or maybe not all of them? Let us know in the comments section down below. But it is now time for number 1. In at number 1 for the video game series that has made the most money of all time is Pokemon, with approximately $70 billion. The very first Pokemon games, Red and Green, came out on February 27, 1996 in Japan on the Nintendo Game Boy. Since then, there have been many other mediums in which this franchise has been displayed. The card game with 102 cards on October 20th, 1996, a manga the following month with Red and a Rude Clefairy, and the anime which premiered on April 1st, 1997 in Japan. There are currently 807 Pokemon, 21 movies, and over 1,000 episodes of the anime with absolutely no sign of slowing down. Did you enjoy the video? If you did, make sure you like, subscribe, and check out these other videos over here. I'm Nate, this is HypeHub, and we'll see you all next time.